wait, we are going to talk about yourself first. So to start with the beginning, maybe Melania, can you please introduce yourself more into details?
Certainly. So, hello everyone. My name is Melania Di Bella, and I'm currently work as an event coordinator at the Bulgari Resort Dubai. As Audrey mentioned, I hold a Master of Science in Luxury Management from the International University of Monaco, and my journey started in digital marketing, where I developed a strong foundation in brand storytelling, consumer management, and over the time I became very drawn to the experiential side of luxury. So, how brands not only communicate but create emotional connections through exceptional service. And today, in my role at Bulgari Resort, I bring together creativity, strategic thinking of sales, operational precision in order to organize bespoke events for high-end customers. And so working in luxury hospitality allows me to combine my background in communication with my passion for service, details, and of course, unforgettable experiences.
Thank you, Melania. And the same question for you, Mirko. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, please. My name is Mirko Aru. I'm the managing director of LuxHos, an hospitality company that specialized in helping entrepreneurs all around the world to invest their money in assets and hospitality assets, hotels, real estate assets tied with hospitality, and so on and so forth. In addition to that, I enjoy very much being a professor at the International University of Monaco. I usually cooperate with the university for a few months per year, and I really enjoy it simply because I'm not an academic guy. I'm more an hotelier since I work for 25 years in 4 continents, 16 different countries, and I work with 8 international hotel chains. So not being an academic give me the opportunity to having my classes run in a bit of a different way than the normal university, and our approach is pretty much different, but we will discuss it later on.
Yes, it's true. In the university, we have professors who are full-time professors, but we also have adjunct professors who are professionals, and they come to share their experience in the classroom with the students. And this is, I think, one of the great added value of our education at the university. So the first question that comes to mind is how it all started. So Melania, can you tell us how did you first hear about IUM?
So I discovered IUM while I was researching, leading a university offering specialized program in luxury management. And what immediately stood out to me was the reputation for the academic excellence and the deep connection to the luxury industry. And of course, the fact that it's located in Monaco, that is one of the most iconic luxury destination, made it even more attractive. So it felt for me like the perfect environment to study luxury, not only from a theoretical perspective, but also within a setting where luxury is truly lived.
Okay, but why luxury in the first place? Actually, it was a passion since you were a child, or did it grow up afterwards?
Now, I've always been fascinated about luxury industry, not just as a business, but as a cultural and emotional language. And I wanted to understand what makes a brand iconic, how experiences are crafted at the highest level, and how luxury evolves in response to the different cultural dynamics. So that was the reason why I joined IUM.
Okay, thanks. And Mirko, kind of the same question for you, back to the roots. Why did you decide to enter the hospitality field at first place?
But, obviously, I decided to join the hospitality field many years ago. 35 years ago, the hospitality was a different world. and it has evolved like everything in life. And at the time, the reason why I wanted to join the hospitality world was because I wanted to be in a very dynamic environment, very international environment. And 35 years ago was very difficult to get into an international environment. Today, with many more tools. And going in hospitality was a breakthrough. You know, I was studying IT, which was at the very beginning of the IT world, so it was also very fascinating. But then, by coincidence, I started to work as a barman during the summer months, you know, to get a bit of extra money, to be a bit of independent, you know, very young, 15, 16 years old. And then I discovered this hotel world. In I was very lucky because I started straight into luxury hotels, but it was a extremely fascinating the details of the basic jobs, even a basic job as a barman, you know, but the details and the drinks and the execution and the service are always amongst nice people, classic clients, beautiful locations, you know. I decided, you know, to be a GM. You know, I came back home, and after the end of the season, I say to my parents, I says, you know what? I love this job and I'm gonna do it year over year in the summer. So I did, you know. But once I finished my secondary school, I simply decided to go and live in London, you know. And at the time there were no telephones, no mobiles, internet did not exist. It was, you know, traveling to another country when they speak a different language, you know, it's not easy, but it was extremely fascinating and very similarly like today, you know. Today we got students from any walk of life at the university. We got students, they come from South America, from Central America, from Asia, from Africa. You know, to them coming to Monaco is a, you know, it's a wonderful experience. It's a different part of the world, and they get you know, fortunate enough because they get straight into a very luxurious environment, you know, so they feel it right away, you know. Whereas many years ago was difficult. You had to nail it on the first place. You have to get right on the first hotels that they were providing a luxurious services. Nowadays, there are many places where they offer luxurious services, but Monaco is without a doubt one of those places, one of the best places in the world, because you have everything there. It's not only hotels, it's not only hospitality. You have yachting, you have fashions, you have brands. I mean, is a great melting pot for luxurious activities.
It's true, absolutely. And this is why we have a master in luxury at the university. It makes a lot of sense. Getting back to you, Melania, and about the program itself, can you tell our attendees today what you liked most about your experience in the Master in Luxury Management program? Is it like the Monaco experience, as Mirko just mentioned?
Yes, of course, the Monaco experience was for me what I right what at back at that time I was enjoying, but at the same time, what I appreciated most was the way the program blended both theory and with practical application. So for me, it was not just gaining knowledge, but it was building the right mindset and network to make an impact in the industry where I'm working in. And also the international environment, the small classes size, the possibility to work with real life projects, all made the perfect place to grow, both professionally and personally, from a personal point of view.
Okay. And Mirko, you mentioned actually that in Monaco we have a lot of different luxury possibilities, you know, to experience the field. But what sectors exactly are included in the hospitality industry? Do we only talk about hotels?
No, I mean, during our course, we do not only talk about hotels. We talk about also freestanding hospitality establishment. We talk about Michelin star restaurants. We talk about the best bars in the world. We talk about how hospitality is tied to fashion, how hospitality is tied to Grand Prix, Formula One, tennis. I mean, hospitality sometimes is only intended to be hotels, but it's not only hotels. Hospitality is everything that gets into a guest experience. So the word tells us, hospitality, hospes is a Latin word, so we do not only talk about hotels. This year, for instance, Melania, you were not there. You missed something fantastic. This year, our students had the possibility to touch with their own hands what is luxury is all about. Our students this year, for instance, after they practice and they absorb the leading quality assurance standards and the Forbes very high quality standards in hospitality, they played as a mystery guest. They were my mystery guests in the class during our activities, and they literally enter into the best hotels in Monaco. They enter into the best restaurants in Monaco. They've been judging, they were like actors. They've been judging how well the hospitality, the luxury hospitality establishment were doing, their employees, what kind of service they were offering. And they were those ones touching with their own hands, with their own ears, with their own eyes, what extremely high standards is all about. And I think this is a great opportunity that rarely you can find in any other universities. It's not easy, it's an opportunity, it's a one-off opportunity, to be able to enter into the top class restaurants in the world, top class hotels in the world, and being there and looking at how the employees they stand in front of the guest, how good is their ability to talk to the clients, to empathize with the clients, how is their emotional intelligence, how is their behavioral standards. And that's what we're trying to do in our master in luxury hospitality management, understanding how the trend is evolving, even in topics that are not necessarily academic topics like behavioral standards and all that.
And about standards and trends, actually, I have a question for the two of you. What are the biggest challenges you're facing in your industry, in your jobs today? So maybe we can start with you, Melania.
Big challenge. I would say you need always to exceed your guest expectation. You need always to be ready for them. And of course, this is the big challenge because you cannot be, you need to exceed. You need to exceed what they are thinking, what they want, and you need always to impress them.
Okay, and what about you, Mirko?
Today in nowadays job, I think the difficulties are to maintaining the high quality standards, because it's very difficult nowadays to find the right employees that work in the right departments. It's difficult to motivate new employees. It's difficult to retain new employees. This is one of the main difficulties in our purely operational facet of the business today. When it comes instead into difficulties into achieving targets, I think nowadays there is a strong competition out there. Year over year, the competition is growing. Year over year, there are new companies coming up, which is also an opportunity. Don't get me wrong. It's not only a difficulty, it's also a great opportunity. Let's put it that way. The standards are going up and up and up year over year. And to maintain your market share, you have to make sure that, as Melania said, You work hard to maintain your standards, to elevate your standards, to make sure that your guests are returning guests, to make sure that your guests are always satisfied. And like in any business, like in fashion, like in any business is strive to grow and strive to elevate the quality of the products that you offer.
So you're talking about maintaining the standard and satisfying the client, but we have the new generation now coming. The Gen Z consumers impact the hospitality field. So do you have new practices, new services that you offer recently in the industry to satisfy that new generation?
Certainly, we change the way we communicate. We change the way we act. Today, we are more we are live. Today we have the opportunity to showcase our product in a different way. If 20 years ago you could lie about services or about offerings, today you have no chance because today you can be on live in any second in any review platform. Today you have no excuses. So I think the way you communicate and how well you need to be focused on your quality has to be really high level because the interaction amongst the new generation is 10 times as faster, 10 times as deep as before. And everything moves very fast. Everything has you got no chance to fail. You cannot fail. This is the reason why the focus on standards is extremely high, even in the way you communicate in your Instagram, in your TikTok, in your social platforms, on any media platform. You need to be very well organized. And nowadays, for instance, there are positions, upcoming positions that 10 years ago did not exist. 10 years ago in a commercial departments, social media manager did not exist.
Mm.
But some colleagues they believe that the future is to be social media manager. I have many students they wanted to be a social media manager in their life, but then they understood that's a very short-term life. Everything moves so fast. So it's much better to get into managerial positions where you can have a grip on the real DNA of business.
An impact, yes.
Correct, Melania?
Thank you, Mirko, for your insights about that. We have a question now, interesting one regarding internships, and I will leave the floor to you in 1 second, Melania, so that you can tell us more about yours. But the question is, what kind of internship job opportunities or industry events were available during the program? So any type of job position that you can have in the luxury business, in the luxury company. So depending on the track you will choose, of course, you will be more directed toward fashion or toward hospitality or yachting. Brand is more general, more global. But anything any position that you can occupy in a luxury business is the type of position that you will be able to find after your graduation. Regarding the internship, you don't have to do it because the question is, did you have to go out of Monaco or can you do your internship in Monaco? Then you can do your internship in Monaco wherever you're from, because we have an agreement with the government that even if you don't have a visa for working, because you will have a student visa, of course, you will have the possibility to do your internship in Monaco. So if your plan is to do so, it will be a possibility. So, Melania, now, what was your internship?
So I was trying to not staying in Monaco, actually, even though I love Monaco, but I was trying to work in a more international environment. So for this reason, I am very glad and grateful that I had the chance to complete my internship at the Bulgari Resort in Dubai, work closely with events with my events team nowadays, and it was an incredible chance to apply to the knowledge and insight that I gained during the program in Dubai. And now I get the promotion as events coordinator. So my role is both strategic and operational. I'm involved in, of course, managing events from social events, corporate and luxury events for Bulgaria itself. And beyond the event execution itself, I'm also responsible for the sales side of the venues. So, which means meeting directly with clients, understanding their needs, and of course, shaping proposals that are aligned with what they want. And of course, from our side, we always trying to exceed what their expectation. As I was mentioning before, and so this is this direct interaction with clients for me. It allows me to build meaningful relationship and delivering personalized service to my guests.
Yeah, actually, this well, in the description of your jobs, there are many things that you manage. But can you tell us maybe how do you use the competencies you acquired during the master in your daily tasks?
So the program trained me to think analytically and strategically, which is the key when you work with ultra net worth individual who expect nothing less than perfection. So from managing and customer expectation to exceeding customer expectation and crafting bespoke experiences, knowing how luxury consumer thinks, combining that with brand strategy, storytellings allows me to deliver perfect experience that are not only perfect in the execution itself, but also emotionally engaging for them.
Okay, okay, thank you. Nico, a question for you now.
Yes, please.
Is the luxury hospitality specialization suitable for someone aspiring to be an event planner or brand experience manager? What would you say? Should he choose brand or hospitality?
I mean, it depends exactly because you see, in the events world is a huge world, right? If you believe you want to be very operational into events management, then you need to understand the DNA of hospitality and event planning and all that. So yes, you in luxury hospitality management course will give you an idea of what is the right approach. Otherwise, you can choose branding. You know, events planning is a very common desire by students to do an event planning, an event manager. Let's say 50% of my students wants to be events manager. Then by the end of the course, only 5% wants to carry on doing event management because, you know, event management is a very tiring, committing job, you know, and sometimes it's taken for granted that doing the career as an event manager is very easy, you know. It's something, you know, there are a big difference between doing an event, organizing an event, planning an event, executing an event, and be invited to the events, you know. And sometimes this is not very clear. Let's put it that way. Melania knows it very well. Melania now she's a fully engaged in high profile events in the luxurious Bulgari hotel in Dubai, and she can tell how the colleagues from events planning, and especially the operational guy, will be really committed to work 24/7 very tirelessly, you know, into a very committing job, let's put it that way.
Working in hospitality, as Mirko, what you were mentioning, is like that. You need to you need to work for your guests. So even when they are enjoying their event, you need to work for them. So it's a really committing job, but it gives you a lot of satisfaction at the end of the day.
Yes, and it's true that it's true for all the fields of luxury because I often say to students, when I ask you why you would like to go for luxury management, don't answer me that you like Chanel bags because you won't be a consumer, actually. It's good if you like the bags because maybe
Correct.
you will sell them, and you will participate in the creation of the bags, but not because you just like to buy them. This is not the right answer. And I think it's the same thing for hospitality. You're not going to enjoy the event yourself, but you're going to enjoy the fact of organizing the event.
I
Correct.
mean, the beautiful part of working with luxury is that you will learn how to have an eye for a detail, and how to have an eye for precision, for delivering. For this is incredible. This is beautiful, and maybe in your life you will not work with branding. Maybe in your life you will not work with hospitality. Maybe you will work, I don't know, for real estate. Maybe you will be a great constructor. Maybe the students will be a great constructor in their life, but still within themselves will have this beautiful approach to quality. They will have this beautiful approach to detail, and this capability, this ability, it will remain with themselves even if in life they will be doing a different job. I think is a great opportunity to develop this sense of uniqueness, this sense of again quality, precision, details, anticipation. Guest needs anticipation and all that, which is a great, absolutely is a great quality to have.
Absolutely. Well, we have time is flying, but we have the time maybe for two remaining questions. So one is how is the concept of luxury evolving in luxury hospitality, and then how is that reflected in the classroom, Mirko? And maybe Melania, you can also tell us about your experience regarding this.
Well, for instance, this year in the class, as I said before, we'll go and see the latest trends. We will go and see what are the best hotels in the world are doing. We'll go and see what has changed on a management level. What are the major changes that took place over the last 5 years? We analyze those. We'll do some activities in the class. We do a lot of benchmarking. We want to see uh, how things will be, in the future. That's basically what we do.
Okay. And Melania, what do you think? Did you really see in the classroom like the evolution of the luxury experience? How was it explained to the students?
So nowadays, luxury consumers, I believe they seek authenticity, sustainability, digital integration. These, I believe, are the three main pillars that we need to work for. They are, for example, working in at the hotel, I discovered that clients are not just booking a room or a villa. They are looking for a story, and they also want to enjoy the time, the free time with their family. So we are consumers are now pushing to be more. Consumers are pushing us to be more transparent, creative, and of course they want to enjoy their journey in our properties. So for this reason, we need to offer more personalized and immersive experience to them.
Okay. Well, we have another interesting question from the audience for you, Melania. Somebody is asking from the 4 specialization in the master why you chose hospitality and event, and also if you can share a bit about your journey of securing an internship in Bulgaria, Dubai as a student.
Okay. So as I was mentioning before, I started my journey in digital marketing. After a couple of years, I understood that this was not my path, so I wanted to be more directly involved with the guests and more in a operational point of view. So for this reason, I joined the specialization in hospitality and event management. Regarding securing my internship, yeah, it took a couple of months. I had the goal to work for Bulgaria and the goal to work for events. So this was how to say, this was the two main goals that I have in mind. That at the end of the day, I sent a lot of messages on LinkedIn to different recruiters. I applied to many job positions, and at the end of the day, the recruiters, I believe they perceived my passion in what I now I'm doing. So, like my advice is for the next students is to, of course, from one side, approach the program with curiosity and ambition. And when you are going to look for a job, for an internship, don't be shy. Just apply, send many applications as you can, and even for the first moment you will not get the perfect job offers that you are willing to have, but accept it. It's a good starting point for your in order to uh, build your connections within the luxury industry, and of course, after that, you can either decide to if you would like to go ahead with that position or moving to another one. But it's always good to see and to accept what you can. Try to don't say no. I don't want this because I want to stay. I don't know, in Monaco, or I want to be in that company. But just try to how to say, like, enlarge your horizons. No?
That's very important. Mirko, maybe as a final word, because Melania just gave us some tips for the future students.
Yes.
So maybe to help them understanding, what would you say are the main qualities somebody willing to succeed in the hospitality and events industry should have?
Well, first of all, you need to have a vision and you need to have a passion. These are the two main and most important words that will help you. You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter what is your background, it doesn't matter of what, from what kind of status you have. But if you have a passion for hospitality, you have a desire to excel, you have an interest, a very strong interest to live in a multicultural world, then without a doubt, you don't have to hesitate. You need to be pushy, you need to be perseverant, you need to be ambitious, and then the results will come. At the end of the day, it's not in- it's not something that you'll get in a blink of an eye. You have to pursue for your targets. You need to be, you know, you need to run behind your dream. You know what I'm saying? You need to be very pushy. And I had the students that today are working in Japan. I have students that today, my last year students today, they work in Dubai. I have my last year students today, they're working in Central America. They decided more or less, where to go and what was their desire. And then our job as a professors, as leaders, is to make sure that our students enter from the front door of the luxury hospitality field. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that we've done in the past. That's something that we will do in the future. We will help them to find the right path, but we will only help those ones that are committed. We will only help those ones they will perform, because obviously we want to make sure that we have outstanding leaders coming out of our university.
Yes. And about you, Milana, so you say that the tip you would give to a students for entering this master would be to be curious and to have a passion, of course, for the field. But what is a tip you would give, like, to make sure that the student will be admitted at the university in the master in luxury hospitality and events management?
Well, of course, they need to show the passion that they have in order to work in this field, and you need to show that you are going to be proactive. It's not just it's just classes. It's behind the Master of Luxury of Science in Luxury Management. It's about project. It's about conferences. So even from that, take the advantages of every opportunity. Attend conferences, network with your with industry professional, get involved in project. Never stop asking questions. These are the what I applied back 1 year ago, and what I'm applying also in my daily life.
Okay, good advices. Thank you. So it's time to end this webinar. So I put here my email address. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask to Melania or to Mirko, just let me know, and I will be happy to share that with them so that we can answer after the session. So thank you very much, Melania, for being with us today.
Thank you, Audrey, for
And
the
good luck then for your position in Dubai.
Thank you
And
so much.
thank you very much, Mirko, for explaining and give us all the insights about what happens in the classroom and also outside of the classroom in Monaco for our students.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time, and was a great talking to you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for attending, and talk to you soon. So don't hesitate, email me, and we'll be happy to stay in touch. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Ciao ciao.